Hi, gang. You're listening to Burlesque Unleashed, and my name is Dinah.
And I'm Isla Storm, and here we dive into the latest dilemmas, deliberations, and dramas in burlesque. Um, Basically, just our WhatsApp chats, which we have decided to record and put into the world.
Always. We'll always chat about different topics every month and share our views, but as a little bonus episode, we're talking about the top 50 most influential performers in the world because it's just been announced and it's so
Ta-da!
exciting.
It's so exciting. Congratulations to everybody who made the list.
Yay! All the mega babes.
So many mega babes. I don't know about you, I was really excited about the list this year.
Yeah, well, I know I was because you and me were sitting refreshing the page repeating.
Being
I
like,
was like,
where's the results?
why is she teasing it? Do you think it'll go up at six? Do you think it'll go up at
Yeah.
eight? Like,
No, we weren't excited. We were chill.
no, we were definitely super chill. It's so funny because both of us were like, we're not going to be on it. So it's not like we're excited for us. We're like just
What's
excited to see
who?
what's going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
about you. I feel like I wasn't that excited about it in previous years, and then it felt like something shifted last year. And last year's
Hmm.
results were so like, oh, this is different.
Yes.
So then it made this year even more exciting because it was like, where's it going to go?
Yeah.
At
So
least for
in
me,
prep,
that was the excitement.
yeah, I think so. In preparation for this episode, I went through all the way back to 2009 and I looked at every single list
We
because
have stats.
yeah, we have stats. If you want real stats, go and check out Matt Finish. He does like the stats of
Mm,
the 21st century list every year, and they're really interesting, the stats that he does. But I noticed how things have shifted, which kind of ties into what you're talking about there,
yeah,
because you could almost predict who was going to be in the list for like a chunk of time.
yeah.
Um, and then, yeah, it started to change a few years ago. And I think that we'll probably talk about a lot of different aspects of this. Um, but I would probably say after the pandemic, it started to shift.
Mm,
And it wasn't necessarily the same people that were, because there's a period of time where like the same people are like the same person's number one for like four
yeah.
years in a row, and then 3 years in a row. And then that's totally changed.
Is it Dirty Martini that's been number one like six or seven times or
Like
something?
the first few years, it was her. Jeez
Yeah.
Louise has been number one a few times. Pearl Noir's been up there quite a lot as well.
Hmm.
It's interesting, but there's definitely been a shift. Um, but I think the first thing we've got to acknowledge is 12 UK people were on that list.
Come on,
12.
UK.
12.
That's amazing.
Again, I looked, that is the most number of UK performers that we have ever had in the top 50.
That's awesome.
It's so cool.
It's so
Like,
good.
it, one, congratulations to every single one of you.
Yeah.
Ah. But two, people talk a lot about representation and how it matters. It matters to see our burlesque on that list.
Yeah. And I think it shows more engagement,
Hmm.
because I think I heard a lot of rhetoric so I've been performing since 2020, so I only really have, I wasn't aware of the list and things before I started performing, so I only have
Yep.
from the pandemic onwards as
Hmm.
a frame of reference. But I heard a lot of rhetoric about like, oh, we're never on it, so like it's almost like why bother? Do you know what I mean? It was like it'll be the same types of people. It's American heavy. But the thing is, because it is a vote and it's voted by whoever wants to vote for it, if we don't
Hmm.
engage, then we're not going to see our people on there. And it just shows in the last couple of years, it feels like the UK scene has actually gotten involved with it. And then our people are
So
on there.
yeah, but it's interesting the rhetoric of we're never there because again I went through and I counted. I've got my wee list in front of me. I don't have the names. I just had like I tallied. We consistently had between four and six performers on it every year.
Okay.
So we did have representation every
Yeah.
year from the start. I think the lowest number we've had on it is three people.
Hmm.
We've always had rep. It's just this year. Last year we jumped up to nine, and then this year we've jumped up to 12.
Yeah.
Um,
And like, we're a small country, actually.
yeah,
We're
there's not
quite a
that
small
many of
scene.
us.
I feel like there's a lot of performers for the size of the country.
So I was thinking that I wonder, I think there's maybe two aspects as to why we're seeing more engagement from the UK.
Yeah.
I think one, I think we've expanded quickly since COVID.
Hmm.
So thinking about obviously I interview people in Behind the Rhinestones, you've either got people that have been performing for 5 years or less, or people that have been performing for 10 years or more. See
Mm.
that in between, see where I am, I'm like 7 years. There's not a huge number of people in the UK in that bracket.
Okay. Interesting. And I guess when you look
So
at the list as well, the people that have made the list, you've got people like Julie Papillon, who've been doing it for donkey's years, and then we've got people that literally started in the last 12 months.
yeah, so it's interesting that that seems to also be reflective of what it is like in the UK scene in general. But I also wonder if the people that have come in, and you can maybe talk about this from your um, experience, the
Mm,
people that have come into the scene since 2020, how we engage with the wider community of burlesque and also how we use social media is vastly different
mm,
from before. Like you sort of immediately had access and accessibility to like a lot of the American scene and like Ginger Valentine was teaching and everything. That all felt unaccessible before that.
yeah, and like particularly, like I said, I literally started in 2020. We were supposed to debut 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after lockdown
Yep.
ended up hitting, and the online stuff and being able to access stuff online was how I established myself. Like I still hear it where people are like, "Oh, I feel like you've been performing for way longer than what you actually have," and it's just
Mm-hmm.
because my face was out there before I'd actually started really performing
Mm-hmm.
because I took every class that I could possibly take. Like I'd never had so much time because my day job is so intense. I never had any time.
Mm-hmm.
And then in lockdown, I was like, I'm at home a lot. I can access all this stuff. I can learn as much as I can, but it also made connections. And I think that was the first year that Ginger Valentine got number one because her
Yep.
she put so much teaching and so much like relatable content online.
Mm-hmm.
So it is such a shift, isn't it? And
Yeah.
yeah, like a lot of my biggest inspirations are American stars, which yeah, if I couldn't just watch them on YouTube or see their Instagrams and things like that, like I wouldn't have had access to them.
Yep.
It would
And I
only
just think
be the local scene.
the way we use social media is different from like when I started to now as well.
Hmm.
Um, you do have to engage with it, and I feel like because of that, we're aware of each other more across the country. Um, and obviously we're much more aware of our American colleagues as well. But yeah, I wonder if that's why like there's newer people that are excited and they're engaged online and therefore they are partaking in the the voting.
I think the way that like the algorithms, fucking algorithms, have changed as well has probably influenced that because it used to be that everything had to be really shiny and everything had to be really
Hmm.
like just so, and they didn't want to see your personality. It was like we want to see a professional photo that matches in a line with three others and like it needs to be all nicely curated and blah blah blah. Whereas now, like you have to show your face, you have to talk on camera. Stuff that like stirs up a conversation is much more likely to get seen. So performers that are engaging in that way are going to pop up on people's feeds more often. They're going to be more aware of
Hmm.
them. And then when it comes around to voting, often it's the first few people that pop into your mind,
Yeah.
which is again, it's not, if you're not on the list, that's not anything to say about your quality as a performer or even as a
Mm-mm.
person. It's just maybe you were less visible for whatever reason at the time of the voting. And remember, it's a particular time of year as well.
Yep. Yep. I've said before, recency bias is a thing. Like the people
Mm,
that you've seen most recent or the ones that you've engaged with more recently, like although it's meant to be of the year, there is always going to be a bias of who you've seen in the most recent times doing
yeah.
stuff.
I forgot to vote for Jezebel when I put in my votes and felt awful and then was like, I think she'll be fine.
I think she'll be okay.
But because
She'll be
Beehoff was
okay.
in June and she was in the UK in the summer.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen her for a while, and then I was just like, put in my 10, and then was like, shit,
I
it's
really
a
sat
thing.
down and had to try and think about it because I was like, no, let's think about the whole year. Like,
Mm.
but yeah, it's hard. But I suppose on that then, so we've talked about, like the visibility and stuff. What does, when I say to you, tell me who the most influential performers in the world are, like what does that influential mean?
To me, and again, this is just me, the things that I
Hmm.
look for are I'm thinking about like who's making quality changes,
Hmm.
so who's being a voice for change in the things that need to be changed, who's putting out there, like, again, I use Ginger Valentine as the example because she was putting out very accessible, useful, valuable teaching, which from someone of her experience and level,
Yeah.
that she often does it for free as well, is absolutely wild.
Yep.
Um, Stuff like that. Sometimes just maybe it's somebody who has a very unique style that maybe hasn't been fully celebrated,
Mm,
that's going out there and killing it. These are the kind of people that I think about. Because yeah,
that makes
influential
sense.
can mean so many different things, right?
Yeah, that's that. I think it, the type of people I vote for now has changed from when I started voting. I think at the start it was the performers that I looked up to in terms of just how they perform.
Hmm.
And I think now I'm a lot more conscious of who is doing things to forward the scene in some way.
Yeah.
So, like, I voted for Bella Sim because she shares all of her costume and stuff. She's so open. Like, people have access to information that, like, when I started, I didn't have that. I just had the person I was learning from to teach me and then
Hmm.
searching things on YouTube. Well, it is now she provides, like, all these hints and tips. I'm still learning stuff from her. Um, I'm voting for people that are trying to change things in a positive way, are trying to uplift other performers and basically make it more accessible for people and also to
Mm.
welcome in newcomers. I think that I look influential to me is how are they influencing the scene in a positive way
Yeah.
in some way. I think that's the angle I tend to come at it more now. Like Gina Sterling's another one I voted for because she's been up and down the country and all across Europe teaching. And I know from Glasgow that there's some people that go to our classes that don't do burlesque, but they go to our workshops every time she
Yeah.
comes because they have a nice time. But then they meet actual performers and then follow us on Instagram and then sometimes come to our shows.
Yeah. Things
So,
like that could be such a funnel that you wouldn't
mm,
think, oh, that's going to get somebody into shows. It's just a class, but no.
it does. So that's influential to me because it's helped as well as uplifting and teaching a newer generation of performers, you're also actually inviting people who maybe would not know people before or wouldn't know where shows are to like follow us on socials and learn about where they can actually come and see us.
Hmm.
So that's what I tend to go for now. It's more people I see that are having a positive impact on this industry in some way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I
which
agree with that. And I
yeah.
think like you, I used to sort of vote for whoever, not just my favorites, but yeah, people that I looked up to as performers. And
Yeah.
that was kind of it.
Hmm.
Whereas yeah, now it's more who's putting out good teaching, who's, uplifting people that need to be uplifted, who's maybe challenging some things that
Hmm.
need to be challenged in the
Yep.
scene.
Yep.
Or bringing in, oh, trashing my house, or maybe bringing in people that, yeah, previously wouldn't have come to the scene because ultimately we need more audience members as well.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big one.
Yeah. And like what you put on your social media can absolutely do that.
Yep. So yeah, that's kind of what it means to me. But I think it's interesting. I think that shift has maybe been across the board, and that's why we're seeing the list look so different from how it used to.
Yeah, I feel like especially experience level, like we kind of touched on this, there's people from who have just started or maybe just been going
Hmm.
for a couple of years that I feel like previously would have been unheard of to be in that list. It was
Hmm.
all Behoff winners, people that were super established, you had seen them win so many titles and things. Like you say, you could kind of predict who
Yeah.
was going to be on it because it was like, who are the biggest performers
Hmm.
in the scene? And it's not necessarily that, which is great,
Yeah.
I think.
I love to see it. I think it also lets you follow people you've maybe never heard of. You get to see people you're like, oh, who's that? Give them a
Yeah.
follow. Um, I think it's just generating a really nice list these
Mm.
days. And we should probably acknowledge that like Holly puts in a hell of a lot of work.
I don't know how she does it, especially when she says that like she vets every response to like
Yeah.
because we hear about people cheating. I don't know how you could cheat.
No. There was there
um,
was there was some people mouthing off apparently about that again this year somewhere. I heard and you were like, oh, be wished. Yeah. Such a Scottish thing. Be wished.
I love how I'm
Um
like I fully understand.
yeah.
For
Um
for for the non-Scots listening, that is shut it basically.
yeah, be wished just means shut it. But yeah, I don't understand how you could cheat. She's so meticulous with it
Hmm.
because it's a
Yeah,
lot of work.
how could you cheat, and also why would you cheat? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the point? Literally, what's the point?
Yeah. Like it's great to be on it. I no doubt for anyone. I imagine it gives you a lot of visibility. It gives you I imagine it brings opportunities along. But
Yeah,
like, why would you want to get on it for cheating? Don't you want to get on it because you've been acknowledged by others?
yeah, especially because it's your peers.
Yeah.
Why would you
Although,
want to fake that?
I went, I had a wee nosy and the voting split was really interesting this year.
Yeah, it was a lot of fans, wasn't it? It was almost the exact same
Mhm.
amount of performers and fans, and then there was a few that's like, I guess it's the non-performer industry people, costumers,
Yeah,
photographers, producers, all that kind of thing.
I
You got the
screenshot it.
stats.
I screenshot it. So 42.5% was I am a fan reader.
Mm,
42.3% was I am a performer. So it's literally,
neck
and
and
then 15.2 is I am a non-performer involved in burlesque. So yeah, there's like a lot of, I think that's quite interesting stats there.
yeah, the industry combined is only just a little bit more than the fans.
Hmm.
That's really interesting because I think I'd always assumed that like we live in such a bubble that like surely
Yeah,
everybody who's voting is either a performer or in the scene in some capacity. I mean, maybe there's a lot who are maybe students who haven't started to perform yet. I don't know, but also
yeah,
yeah, it's really interesting to hear that there's that many
yeah, like
that are just
40%.
observers. Yeah,
Mhm. I think that's quite interesting. I think it's also, as always, and so many people have done posts about this, but like the list is 50 people out of how many thousands of us that do burlesque across the world, and people are still doing good work. And just because you're not
yeah,
on that list doesn't mean that the work you're doing isn't being appreciated by someone or isn't being seen as well. There's so many people that do work behind the scenes.
yeah, absolutely. And I think I have seen a few posts of people feeling a type of way, not like bitter, whereas I think like you just need to have a word with yourself if that's your response, but just people that feel a bit sad, like they feel a bit overlooked.
Mm,
And like I get that. I completely get that. But it doesn't mean that your work isn't important, and it doesn't mean that you are being overlooked. Like
no.
we don't know how many people in total were mentioned on people's votes. Like I say, however
Mm,
many hundreds and thousands of votes Holly's had to go through,
mhm.
there may be so many names that were on the master list that have not made it into the top 50. Like, just because you're not in that list doesn't mean that, like, nobody
Yeah.
is noticing what you're doing.
But also, chances are there's people in your daily life or people in your inner circle that see what you're doing and will tell you that's amazing. And I
Yeah,
think even that is good. Like having that, someone knows what you're doing and just keep doing it. And Just because you're not on the top 50 doesn't, as I said, it doesn't mean people don't see it and don't applaud it.
Yeah. It's like with competitions, isn't it? That, people can come away feeling like, oh, my art's invalid, I'm not very good, I'm not, being acknowledged. But there can only be one winner out of maybe 20 performers.
Yeah,
And that's not to say that everyone else was bad.
yeah,
It's just that that person was highlighted in that instance on that day. And it's kind of the same thing. It's like there can only be 50,
yeah.
and it's a big world.
Because there's definitely people doing good stuff. There's coming up in February, it's specifically in America, but I'd actually love to see people doing it here. There's a boycott where essentially they are asking producers to hand over their show for that month to local black producers or local black performers and have like all black lineups or all
Hmm.
POC lineups because it's I believe February is Black History Month in America.
Right.
So someone can double check that. Um, and there's a couple of people organizing that and pushing it and really like advocating for it. They're not on the list,
No.
but there's a hell of a lot of people who are like championing that and are working really hard to do that. And I think it'll be fantastic if it happened, like for
Yeah.
the shows that do it. Um, but yeah, like
It doesn't make
just
that
because,
invalid because they're not on the list.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you. I was like, I had a point.
And yeah, think about like all the teachers and all the people that are doing, amazing stuff. Like Tempest Blaze is putting her own money into subsidizing this workshop day. And she got thanked in an award from the Cabaret Central Awards that Beta Phone Glitch set up, which is a nice kind of local thing. But like, that's not invalid because she's not on the list.
Yeah.
Like,
As well
that's
as
so valuable.
there's the Silver Tusk Awards that are run by Victor
Mm,
Devon as well. In the States, they're open for anyone to vote, but it does primarily seems to be people in the States at the moment. They're really fun as well, and a lot of people love winning them. And there's names on that list that aren't on the 50,
mm,
so people are obviously thinking of them. So yeah, I think if you're feeling a bit kind of down and out, just remember that there's people out there that appreciate what you do and you don't need to
yeah.
be on a list to validate your work.
Yeah, and that's not to take away from the people who are on the list because
Oh
that
God,
in
yeah.
itself is an amazing achievement. I think we sometimes struggle in this scene to find that balance between like being happy for people who have achieved
Mm-hmm.
something and like letting them have their flowers, whilst also like being kind to yourself if you
Yeah.
haven't made that achievement and realizing that that one achievement is not the be all and end all of someone's career. Like I think
Mm-hmm.
people can swing between, well, we saw with that discussion recently about competitions, didn't we, where it was like throw out all competitions, and it's like,
Yeah.
what, just because something isn't for you or it isn't your time for that thing, you might be on it next year.
Yeah.
But if you throw the toys out the pram and say, "Oh well, who cares? It's not. It doesn't matter to me. I don't need that." That's shitting on someone else's achievements, and also it
Yeah.
doesn't help you.
No. But yeah, I think that's the top 50 was wonderful. We
Yeah,
applaud everyone who was on it. You're all fabulous. And I'm excited to see what everyone does this year.
I'm excited
And
to see the sub lists.
yeah, they're due
I think
out,
the
aren't
sub list's
they?
coming. Yeah, I don't know when.
Oh, I would love to see some more people that we know now, because that'll be like costumers, um,
Yes,
other things. Because the sub lists have
photographers and things.
exist, yeah, because the sub lists have appeared in previous years, but I can't
Hmm.
remember what they all are.
Yeah, I
But
know
yeah,
there was like a non-performers one. I can't remember if she mentioned about doing individual like countries or regions, like a
she just
Europe or a. Did she say
she just
maybe?
said the sub lists will be back. She didn't say what they
Right.
were, and I can't remember.
We will find out.
We will all find out together. Um, before
And
we wrap
then
up this, sorry.
I was going to say, and then we'll jump on and talk about it.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like part two. Um, before we wrap up this smaller episode, because it was just a little bonus one, just to let you all know, we do have a Patreon set up now where you can stream these episodes there. There will also be the link to the YouTube. And we'll also have like discussions and chats about whatever topics that we are talking about with you. And also probably ask you for input on what you want to hear us talk about in the future. And it's completely free and it will stay free because we just want it to be a place where we can chat because neither of us want to manage another Instagram account.
No. That was a hard pass.
That was the summary of why we went with Patreon instead.
Yeah.
Um Also, oh, something we didn't mention, and to be
Mm.
fair, I'm also like, this is also a plug. How many people on that
Oh,
list have appeared at Clandestine?
so Clandestine Cabaret, my show that I produced with Easy Stardust, I ran the maths, and I know we always talk about how we like to bring you a good cast. 22%, so over a fifth of the current top 50 have been on our stage. I am including Frankie Fictitious, who did an online, and I am also including Aquarius Moon, who is our upcoming headliner for our Valentine's show, number 6 in the world. Shameless plug, get your tickets if you're in London. If you're not in London, come to London for Valentine's weekend. It'll be great.
Yeah, and go see Aquarius Moon
Yeah, she's
because
also teaching. She's teaching at the Black Burlesque School the following week, the 18th, I think. Very
I
exciting.
aspired that. I am excited for you. I can't wait to see
I'm
it
so
all.
excited.
Um,
Shameless plug over.
Yeah, I was going to, no, that's why I was like, I was going to ask you to plug Clandestine, and I was like, oh, wait, actually, we forgot
We
about
have stats.
And final shameless plug is that Behind the Rhinestones is still continuing in 2026. The episodes will be coming there every second Sunday. The next one is due out on the 11th. And it's actually, give you a sneak peek, it's with your co-producer, it's with ZZ Stardust.
Yay!
And
I did not know that. That's very exciting.
it. So sweet. So that's us. Thank you so much for joining us, gang, and we will speak to you all next.
See you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.